Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. For today's video, we have 10 early season NBA trends we're buying into. So pretty much, guys, we're gonna go through each and every single one of these and kind of talk about the trend and see if it's something we actually want to like stay here in the NBA, see if it's like good for the game or if it's gonna hinder it eventually. So yeah, man, if you guys enjoy these type of article videos, be sure to drop a like on this video. This is by Adam Frommel of Bleacher Report. So let's go ahead and get started on this. The first trend we have is increased pace is here to stay. Bro, it is absolutely insane just like how quick the game of basketball has become. Like, I don't know, man, it's almost like a freaking track meet to some extent out there. I mean, you're running up and down the court and you're putting up shots more so than ever. If you're not athletic, you're simply just not going to make it in this current era of the NBA. Like just like the time of, you know, the point guard walking under the ball up the court and setting the offensive set and doing all that stuff, man. Meanwhile, you got freaking Glenn Big Baby Davis back there snacking on a burger, guys, while, you know, maybe Ray Allen shoots a three. Those days are over. Like, the game is just so much quicker, and that makes it a lot more enjoyable, because I know personally for me, I like a lot more of like a faster paced sport, which is why I'm not really a big baseball fan. Like, to me, I feel like baseball is too slow, but at the same time, it's like hockey. I'm not really a big hockey fan just because, I don't know, man, basketball to me is the go-to sport. Getting a little bit off track right here, but yeah, man, increased pace is here to stay. I definitely think it is. It's the way to go. Small ball is the way to go, and yeah, that's what it's all about. All right, next up we have the New Orleans Pelicans are an offensive juggernaut. So I will say this, man, there is actual like proof on my videos. I did say that Julius Randle to me was going to be a contender for most improved player. I don't know if he's quite playing that good out there. Yes, he's playing fantastic, but there's a lot of other really good guys out there that can definitely win that award. But pretty much, man, like Anthony Davis, Julius Randle, Nikola Mirotic, that big trio, like that's an actual big three, not because they're all superstars except Anthony Davis, but like I'm talking like big guys, big three out there. Mirotic, his offensive game, his perimeter shooting has been off the freaking charts, man. Like he's just been knocking down the shot so consistently. Of course, Julius Randle out there, what I like about him is that while he is like a center slash power forward, he kind of almost plays like a guard with his passing abilities and his like athleticism, being able to like take guys off the dribble and stuff like that. He's extremely athletic. I love his playmaking. Like, I was watching some highlights of him, and just it's just some of the passes he makes out there. Like, wow, is that a point guard right there? No, man, it's Julius Randle. Much so, kind of like a Lamar Odom type of player almost. And then of course Anthony Davis. I mean, I know there's a lot of like rumors going out there still saying that Anthony Davis is gonna be part of the Lakers or the Boston Celtics, but I'm gonna say straight up, man, like Anthony Davis, I hope he stays with the Pelicans because I really do like what this team is doing out there. Of course, you got Drew Holiday, who can be a little streaky at times. But I'm just saying straight up, man, like you got your big guys out there. This team definitely needs to work on signing some, you know, free agent like shooting guards and small forwards and wing players and guys like that. And when you have all this talent, all these big guys like Anthony Davis or Julius Randle that are willing to pass, like guards are going to want to play with that because that means wide open shots for them. Who doesn't want that? Because wide open shots means more makes, which means ultimately you're going to get yourself a better contract. So yeah, I definitely think the Pelicans are an offensive juggernaut, and we'll see what this team can do in the future, see if it can actually like keep up too. Elfrid Payton's also been very nice. I forgot to mention him. All right. The Denver Nuggets are way better on defense. I mean, this is a straight up fact, guys. It's straight up fact. And a big part of that is like Paul Millsap being completely healthy. Paul Millsap for his entire NBA career has always been a really solid like defensive four out there. He's not going to go out there like throwing a shot back, but as far as being like quick on your feet and being able to stay up with your defender, he's always done that extremely well. But of course, the big improvement here has been from Nikola Jokic, because the past year or two, when he's been putting up his numbers out there, people were always saying like, oh, you know, Jokic, he's good offensively, but he's not really a complete center. He can't play defense out there. There's liability. So anything he does offensively gets negated by whatever he gives up defensively to the other teams out there. But no, man, he's definitely worked on it. And I still think that Jokic is extremely underrated. I feel like people don't appreciate how much of like the perfect center he is out there. Like, he can shoot the three ball. His passing is better than freaking most teams starting point guards out there. His rebounding's always been solid. I mean, the dude can go out there and get a triple-double. So he's doing that combined with playing defense. You know, I know he's extremely young right now, but give it 2-3 years down the road, I mean, we might be looking at an MVP candidate here, guys. You know, once he gets his name more well-known out there. I do want to know from you guys in the comment section below, where do you actually rank Jokic in the current centers in the NBA? Do you feel like he's the best center, top 2, top 3, top 5? Let me know in the comment section below. I personally like him better than Karl-Anthony Towns. People might hate me for that. You know, Joel Embiid probably still has a little bit, but I don't know, man. I like Jokic a lot. He's definitely one of my favorite players in the NBA. All right, next up we have Kawhi Leonard is back, and so are the Toronto Raptors. You know what, man? I thought it was a little funny because the other day against the Milwaukee Bucks, they decided to rest Kawhi Leonard, and Skip Bayless absolutely went off on this man, where it's like, for one, like, he's no longer part of your team, the San Antonio Spurs, and two, they weren't playing the Spurs, so why you'll keep this man's name out of your mouth out there. So, yeah, Kawhi Leonard, the games I've watched him, has picked up his MVP caliber form. He just seems like the perfect fit on the Toronto Raptors. I mean, yes, they did lose DeMar DeRozan, but the fact that they were able to, like, replace him with Kawhi Leonard, what he does out there, not to mention they got Danny Green in that trade, which he's just a really good perimeter defender and also a three-point shooter, which, I mean, DeRozan was never really a good shooter like that. So you add that right there. And the Toronto Raptors, man, I think this team is definitely going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's going to come down to them against, you know, probably either the Bucks at this point, we got to talk about the Bucks, right? Of course, the Boston Celtics, Philadelphia 76ers, one of those three teams out there. But the way this team is playing, their chemistry already this early in the season, I thought they were going to struggle early on a little bit because of chemistry. But yeah, man, as of right now, in 5 appearances, says down, they're averaging 27 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and about 1 block per game. And that's just a guy out there, man, that's not even, like, he doesn't even have, like, the full season under his belt. Like, this is early on with new teammates and in a new place. Like, he's not even in the United States anymore, man, and he's going out there doing this. So I will say Kawhi Leonard is back, as far as saying, and so are the Toronto Raptors. They haven't really gone anywhere. You know, they were the #1 seed last season, so I kind of disagree with that statement right there. Okay, next up we have even more threes are coming. So there's actually a chart on here that shows the amount of threes that teams are making per game. And as of right now, you know, in this first 2 weeks in the NBA season, teams are making 11 3-pointers per game. That's led by the Bucks and also the Atlanta Hawks, I guess. Although I can't imagine the Warriors are too far behind with the way Stephen Curry and also Klay Thompson is shooting out there. But yeah, it's a 3-point shooting game now. I mean, you know, it's kind of crazy how the 3 ball is kind of like made the NBA. I don't want to say like a positionless league, but to the point where you don't really see your traditional center power forward duo. You know, back in the day, man, it used to be the power forward was out there around the mid-range area, posting up. The center played strictly in the middle. Every now and then you would get a guy out there like a Brad Miller or somebody like that could shoot the 3 ball, but it was really few and far between. Now it's like every single center is adding the 3 ball to their team to some extent. Power forwards, it's no longer the 6'11" post-up dudes like Rasheed Wallace, although he was a 3-point shooter. A little streaky at times, but still, man, you don't really see those traditional power forwards anymore. You see a lot of, like, you know, 6'8" guys out there running that spot that sit in the corner and do their thing out there. And it's fun to watch, man. It's fun to watch. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love traditional basketball, the post-up game. I love a guy backing some dude down and shooting the mid-range in his face. But as far as these dudes launch up the 3-pointers, it's a lot of fun, man. It's crazy to think about just how far this can go. Because it does say right here, at some point you're going to hit, you know, the peak with it. Because there's only so many possessions in the game. But what if it gets to the point where just every single shot is a 3-pointer? I don't think we'll ever get quite there. But who knows, man. All right, next up we have peak Stephen Curry has returned. Who has been more fun to watch this season than Stephen Curry? I know people hate on the Warriors. I will say I did like the Warriors before they got Kevin Durant, because at that time it was like, okay, Stephen Curry out of Davidson was very underrated at the time. It's like people said he wasn't going to make it. Klay Thompson was drafted. Draymond Green was a second rounder. That was cool to see. You know, these guys just all kind of came together and formed one of the dynasties out there. But man, Stephen Curry is playing, it's almost like he's playing better than his MVP season. And what's it saying? It's dropping a 50. Yeah, he dropped 51 points against the Washington Wizards, and just, it seems like every single time the ball leaves his hand, you think it is going in, and he's having fun out there doing it. I guess that's the one thing I respect about the Warriors, is that they haven't really fallen into the whole fatigue of winning NBA championships and getting to the finals. Often you'll see a team win the championship, and then next season comes around, and they're not really as passionate to grind it out as they were before. So I do give them respect for that. But yeah, this might be the first time in NBA history where we're gonna have a freaking we're gonna have a 3 MVP race between Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant. And that's not gonna happen, of course, because there's, you know, Giannis is doing his thing out there, and, you know, of course, LeBron James is always gonna be up there too, Russell Westbrook. But yeah, man, peak Stephen Curry, no doubt, is back. All right, next up we have Zach LaVine is an offensive force. And this guy's been dropping some 30 pieces out there. I will say, man, I did a video the other day I did a realistic Chicago Bulls rebuild, and people got really mad because, like, in the second or third season, I did bench Zach LaVine. Yeah, my apologies for that. I mean, come on, man, it was like 3-4 games into the season, and I was like, all right, maybe this is just like a one-time thing, and people are overreacting because I did that. But no, straight up, Zach LaVine, he's looking like one of the better shooting guards in the NBA. He looks completely healthy out there. Jump shots looking great. Athletically, we always know he's great, which we there was some concerns about that because of his ACL and everything like that, how that was going to affect him as a player. But he just seems a lot more poised, confident, and just, he seems to more like survey the floor now. Like, he's not going out there being reckless. He is actually trying to find the best play for himself. I'm happy for Bulls fans because they did throw this guy a lot of money. I know they had to go through injuries with Zach LaVine, which is really sad because of the whole Derrick Rose situation. So it's about time, man. Y'all get someone to root for out there. All right, next up we have the Spurs are no longer a defensive force. I guess there's apparently some numbers out there. Yeah, opponent's effective field goal percentage, 57%. Opponent's turnover percentage, defensive rebounding percentage. I mean, yeah, look at this look at these four guys right here, man. Like, Patty Mills ain't gonna bring you no freaking defense. DeJounte Murray was probably pretty solid defensively. I know he was always kind of pretty good for a point guard at that. But Marcus Aldridge, never really notorious for being a great defender. I know this team also has Pau Gasol, who's so ancient now. Rudy Gay's more offensive oriented. DeMar DeRozan, I mean, yeah, he can play some defense out there. But yeah, this team's, it's not built the way it was before. You know, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, all those guys. Not to mention you lost Kawhi Leonard, who was always like top 5 in defensive player of the year voting. Danny Green was always really solid on defense. It's just a new team with new guys. Yeah, they're not going to be a defensive force. I mean, Greg Popovich can only do so much. He can't go out there and play defense for you. Although I would pay very good money to go see that in an NBA game. Can you guys imagine Greg Popovich clamping up with Stephen Curry? All right, next up, we got DeAndre Jordan is ready to hit his free throws. You know, I saw some, yeah, where's the stat here, man? It says he's shooting 87% free throw percentage. You know, it's a very small sample size. Good for DeAndre for doing this. It says his form hasn't drastically changed at all, but he's just making them now, man. And I guess when it comes down to it, it's confidence. You know, if his form's the same, he's playing at a new place, maybe healthy, maybe he's feeling healthy mentally and physically, where it's just the free throws are coming off better for him. So good for him on that. Not too much to say about that. Good for you, DeAndre Jordan. Hopefully he can continue with it. But, you know, these things do have a way of balancing himself out. You might not see him shoot 87% this season, but if he's around like 70, 75%, I think if you're a Dallas Maverick fan, you're very happy about that. And then next up we have, and finally, Lonzo Ball can shoot. Lonzo Ball has been shooting the 3-ball very nicely this season. I know last season, a lot of people out there not only wrote off Lonzo Ball as a bust, but they were just saying his jump shot was just completely ugly. I know Mike Korzemba gets a lot of slack on his channel because he made that one video, Stephen Curry with a 40-inch vertical. He's not quite that, don't get me wrong, man. He's not no Stephen Curry. But I was arguing last season about this. I was saying that Lonzo Ball in his, you know, at UCLA, I believe, yeah, UCLA, was shooting 41% from 3. Yes, the college arc is a little bit, you know, deeper in there. And yes, like, the college defenders are not as good clearly as the NBA, but as Lonzo Ball develops to be a better NBA player, learns the game a bit better out there and things like that, I mean, that confidence is going to come in time. That jump shot don't just disappear like that. If you could make it in middle school, high school, and college, chances are you're going to at least be a decent shooter, you know, when you come to the NBA like that. So good for Lonzo Ball out that. I still don't think he's ever going to be no 20, 25 point per game scorer. But I mean, if he can be like one of those near triple-double guys, he can be a 14-point, you know, 9 assist guy out there that adds about 7 rebounds per game, I will say that's a very, very good NBA player in my opinion. But anyway, guys, the link to the article is in the description below if you guys do want to like read more on this. Hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and peace out, my friends.